Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is A Reality Check. And that is because of the way the planets are set up this week. And above all, this is a wonderful time for a reality check because there is a wonderful grand cross in the practical, realistic earth signs. And that is because Venus in Taurus, which is the ruler of Taurus, is not being challenged by any planets. There are no other planets in the fixed signs, and Venus in Taurus is trining the moon today in Virgo. Together, those two planets are trining Pluto in Capricorn. So there can be a good reason to run some sort of reality check in your life to see if your career is on track, or to look at your health condition, or there can be an examination of your investments, or of some sort of accountability issue, or of your long-term security. All of those things are subject to a reality check right now, but it can be a really good one that can, and if you do that reality check, you may be able to increase your career prospects, or extend your long-term security, or improve your health in one way or another. And that is certainly possible, but it's going to require that you absolutely face facts. And the reason why it's so important to just concentrate on the facts is because there's also a grand cross of 6 planets among the cardinal signs, and they're all squaring and opposing each other. So today, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars are in Cancer, and they are opposing Pluto in Capricorn. These 4 planets are all being squared by Jupiter in Libra, and also by Uranus in Aries. So what does that mean? It simply means that you could be running into some emotional roadblocks, or there can be people around with a lot of different opinions, and they're not willing to listen to anyone else's point of view. And so there can be quite a bit of arguments going on right now. So for instance, there could be a budget realignment that you may have to consider. And by a realignment, I mean that you sort of take money out of one little place and have to put it in another. Or there can be some family squabbles or quarrels right now, or emotional outbursts from anybody. And also there could be some sort of partnership stress or strain, or there can be a conflict in legal matters, or there could be the possibility of a cancellation of a contract as well. And so there are a lot of things that could threaten your reality right now. But the important thing to remember, and why you should face facts and really write them down and set them up in your reality check, is because there are so many things that are beyond your control that are causing a little bit of chaos in the world right now. And because they're based on a lot of different opinions, I'm suggesting that in your reality check, you not listen to other people's opinions, not because you wouldn't want to consider them at some other time, but instead it's just really important for you to face facts about reality right now in your life. What could you do to improve your life right now? There are a number of things that are very well favored. One of them is that you can be a lot more realistic about what is affordable. In fact, that should be a really big question that you could be asking yourself right now. Are your basic needs affordable? You might find out, if you do a reality check or you're looking at your budget, that they are affordable. That could be, because that grand trine in earth signs is very strong and extremely well favored right now. So if your basic needs are not affordable at the moment, they could be in the future, particularly if you decide to do a few things a little bit differently. One of them is that it would do you good to decide to work very hard and not complain about anything. Just get in and do the job and do your best. Another thing you can do is you can try to improve your health, and with the aim of trying to increase your strength and your stamina, just getting in better shape. And that can affect your mental health as well and make you feel a lot better, both physically and mentally. And the third thing you could try to do is you could try to develop some sort of financial discipline so that you are putting a little away for a rainy day. These rainy days do happen in everyone's life. And trying to slowly accumulate some sort of nest egg so that your long-term security can be a little bit more comfortable. So you can do all of those things, and even though no one can sort of have it all, your dedication to your plans and your goals based on a reality check and based on the facts can really reap satisfying rewards for you, not only now, but they can give you success in the future. But it's all based on factual reality. It's not based on whose opinion you're listening to or what the current trend is in anything. So if you just concentrate a little bit more on your own life and what is affordable or how to make it more affordable through a reality check, I think that that would be so well aspected you might be surprised that you get some good results eventually from that. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that you can be embroiled in things that are beyond your control because yours is a cardinal sign. And today, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury in Cancer are forcefully squaring Uranus in your own sign, which can bring sudden upsets or unpleasant news. And it could be about a home or a family matter or a real estate matter or just something that is something that you're not planning on at all, that is not in your control either, and that could throw you off a little bit. And also, Jupiter in Libra is opposing that Uranus, and Pluto in Capricorn is squaring it. So those 6 planets in cardinal signs can be affecting all 4 cardinal signs in a very challenging way. And so they would particularly affect Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So I do think that this is a time when you are really going to need to try to stay steady and not listen to too many people's opinions. Since Venus in Taurus is right ahead of your sun sign, you might have your eye on something pricey, which is of good value or high quality. And if you can find a way to make the purchase of something affordable in your reality check, then you might decide to go ahead. And for one thing, you could be looking for a higher paying job. That would be one way to afford something pretty nice because you'd be making more money. Or you may decide to sell an investment, and that would give you some extra money right now. So you do have options, but believe me, you really shouldn't try to get in the middle of squabbles or big problems right now that you haven't caused anyway, because it could just really upset you, Aries. So if I were you, I'd try to stay as calm as possible this week. And remember, it's a reality check that will give you the answer as to whether something's affordable or not. All right, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, it's wonderful once again that Venus, your own ruler, is in your sign, and it's not being squared or opposed by anything because there are no planets in the other fixed signs. And today, it is the spearhead of a wonderful grand trine in the Earth sign. So if anybody's going to do a reality check right now, it's you, Taurus. And with Venus in your sign trining both the moon in Virgo today and Pluto in Capricorn, you can have your mind not only on whether your basic needs are affordable, which I think they are, but also on how to improve your life and the life of your loved ones. And so you may be the person that's looking for a higher paying job, and that would be a good idea. And also you may be wanting to improve your health, and you already are a good worker and you generally don't complain. You just sort of get in there and get the job done, which is great. And you could be very well liked for that right now, Taurus. But also you might want to try to improve your health in order to increase your strength and stamina, and try to put a little money away too. So a reality check is going to work out real well for you, Taurus, and I bet you've already been doing that. So congratulations. All right, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is a time when you can have little things bothering you, and that is because today the moon in Virgo is squaring your sun, Neptune in Pisces is squaring your sun, and Saturn in Sagittarius is opposing your sun. So yes, other people have different ideas, and not everyone's on the same page as you right now, Gemini. But on the other hand, Venus in Taurus is right behind your sun sign, and that means you are very popular. Much more popular than you realize. And also, since Taurus is a fixed financial sign and Venus is a wonderful planet, you could have your mind on making some more money behind the scenes, perhaps in some other part-time effort or in something that involves communication or change or transitions, which can be very easy. So I think you've got your mind on really good money, and as long as you stick to a reality check and really pay attention to facts, not opinions, I think that you could succeed at something behind the scenes. And if it isn't a better investment or making more money, then it could be that your love life is improving behind the scenes. Because Venus is behind your sign, and that could be making you happy too, Gemini. And the planets in Cancer that are part of this harsh grand cross are not hurting you at all. In fact, one of them is your ruler, Mercury, and that simply means that you need to be really careful not to say too much right now. Let your partners do your talking for you, because people who are coming at each other and expressing their opinions are only going to run into obstacles and challenges because nobody's in agreement with anyone else right now. So save your breath, Gemini, and enjoy the pleasures that you have in the background of your life. They can bring you a lot of happiness right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when you really need to zip the lip and not say what you're thinking or feeling right now. And the reason why is that there are 3 planets in your sign: the Sun, Mercury, and Mars. But Mars and Mercury are right together. They are conjuncting each other. Mercury is the planet of communication, and Mars rules war, hate, jealousy, greed, envy, passion. Ooh, I mean, if you say what you're really feeling right now, or if you let your emotions boil over, which you could right now, Cancer, you would really live to regret that. Because if you let people know what you're really thinking about, they could come back at you pretty hard right now, and it would cost you more than it's worth, Cancer. So this is a time when I think you should quietly withdraw and try to make a dream come true, since the planets in your sign are trining Neptune in Pisces, and Pisces does rule dreams. Or there can be some way that you can escape the turmoil around you, and you should perhaps try to do that and find a little peace if you can. And that might be hard to do, but I hope you give it a try. And because if you find a peaceful moment, that would be when you could only face facts and do a reality check. We all need to do that right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when I think that you are doing a reality check, or you need to do a reality check about money. And the reason why is there's only one planet that is harshly aspecting your sun sign, but it's been doing that for a while, and that is Venus in Taurus, which is squaring your sun. And so that simply means that you are a person, Leo, that could be asking yourself that question: are your basic needs affordable? And I think that your basic needs are affordable, but because Taurus is sort of a high-priced financial sign and Venus is there, it simply means that you may have your mind on something that isn't quite affordable right now. It can be a very high quality, but it could also be high-priced. And so it may not be the time for you to take a gamble on anything. And if you can pay cash for something, that's great. But if you have to go into debt or gamble with money. I don't think you should do that at this time, Leo, because yes, Uranus is trining your sun, and so is Saturn in Sagittarius, but they have problems of their own right now. And so I think you need to be a little bit careful and stick to a reality check and to just face facts, particularly financial facts right now, so that you can make things affordable. That should be your challenge at the moment. The 3 planets in Cancer are right behind your sun, so there can be some trouble boiling up about emotions that could just burst open. And so you don't want to get around people that are real highly emotional or angry right now, because that could be disturbing for you. And also there is the possibility of a problem with a real estate matter or with a home or family matter that you would need to attend to as well. But for now, if you don't have the money to pay cash for something, try to be really careful and stick within a budget, if at all possible, Leo, because there is going to be a change coming up for you later on in the summer, and it only means that you should be careful with your money now and stick to reality. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when you can be pretty happy with things, particularly that deal with reality, and that is because Venus in Taurus is trining the moon in your sign, and Pluto in Capricorn is also trining that moon. So I think you've got reality under control. And I think that as far as your budget goes, you know exactly what you can afford and what you cannot afford, and you probably are even putting money away for a rainy day or to make your long-term security even more secure, so that's great. So financially, I think you're doing really well right now, Virgo, and you don't really have much to worry about. You can afford whatever you want. But emotionally, or in the realm of relationships, there can be annoying problems. And that is because today the moon in your sign is being opposed by Neptune in Pisces, and those are 2 somewhat nebulous, intuitive planets, and that means you really don't know who to trust, and you should not trust everybody right now, because somebody's painting blue sky or not telling you the whole truth about something, and that means that you better not fool yourself or look at people with rose-colored glasses on right now, because you would not be getting a realistic view of them. And then Saturn in Sagittarius is squaring that moon right now, which means that parents are not necessarily agreeing on matters connected with children or with budgets right now. So try to stay out of arguments, because the way you're handling things right now, Virgo, does make a lot of common sense. So just quietly stick to what you're doing, because you're doing a good job. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, yours is a cardinal sign, and so there are 6 planets in harsh Grand Cross, and that can be quite challenging for you, because there's only 1 planet in an air sign, and it's Jupiter in your sign. And so you can be plagued with the threat of tension in a partnership or a legal matter that's a little bit contentious, or you can even be facing the threat of a canceled contract, and that is because Pluto in Capricorn is squaring your sun, which means management changes or changes in government or corporate policies can put pressure on you right now. And those 3 planets in Cancer, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury, are squaring your sun forcefully, so there can be family problems or real estate or property problems, and that can be bothering you. And then Uranus in Aries is opposing your sun sign, which means there can be unpleasant news or some sort of sudden upset that can throw you off balance. But you do have Jupiter in your sign, Libra, and that is wonderful. You too need to do a reality check, and that means face facts, but don't listen to a whole bunch of different opinions right now. First of all, you wouldn't be able to make up your mind on any of them because they are so divergent. So instead, try to just stick to the facts, because it is possible, if you face a reality check right now, that you will be able to afford something, if not now, then in the near future. But you just have to face facts right now and quit listening to everybody else's opinion on something. Make up your own mind, Libra. All right, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, Venus in Taurus is still opposing your sun sign, which means that something pretty pricey is beyond your reach at the moment. And so if you sort of do a reality check on things, you may see that your basic needs can be met, but it's going to take a little more money to do that. And it means that if you face reality, you work hard without complaining, you improve your health, and you just try to put away a little for a rainy day so that you can build a little nest egg, you will be just fine in the future. Right now is a wonderful time for a lot of emotional support, and that is because the 3 planets in Cancer are trining your sun, and so is Neptune in Pisces. So that's great. You can give emotional support and you can get emotional support, and that can be pure gold to somebody else who really needs it, or to you yourself. So my advice to you is try to keep your hands in your pocket and not spend money right now, Scorpio, but just give as much heartfelt nurturing and support as you can. That could be really what people need right now, and that can be what you need as well. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when you can be a little bit confused, or you can be unable to make up your mind about something, and that is because Neptune in Pisces is squaring Saturn in your sun sign. So you really don't know who to believe, and you could have been getting misleading information, and now's the time for reality checks, but you're not too sure what is fact and what is fiction, so that can be confusing. And then the moon in Virgo today is squaring Saturn in your sign, so there can be a conflict with parents, or there can be a conflict concerning a health matter or an accounting or banking matter right now. And so I think you need to sort of sort things out if you can, and I wouldn't be in a rush to reach a conclusion on anything right now, Sagittarius, because I just don't think it's possible for you to quite get all the facts. I urge you not to listen to other people's opinions, though. Instead, really write down things yourself and look at the real facts and the affordability of something, and then make up your mind about that down the road. But right now, I think you need more proof before you can believe what other people are saying. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, yours is a cardinal sign, and yet it's also an earth sign. And so Venus in Taurus is trining your sun, and so is the moon in Virgo today, which is wonderful for your reality check, Capricorn, because it does mean, if you really look over your finances, that your basic needs are affordable. I'm sure they are. And also there can be the possibility of more money coming in. Like everyone else, for you, Capricorn, this is a wonderful time to look for a higher paying job, or for a way to cut costs, which you're good at anyway, or to simply put a little bit more money away for a rainy day to ensure your long-term security. That would be great. But because yours is a cardinal sign caught up in this grand cross, it means that there can be people with a lot of conflicting opinions who do have troubles of their own, and these problems are out of your control, Capricorn. So you have to be a little bit careful not to get caught up in other people's chaos right now, because I don't think anything can be really resolved right now unless it's factual. And that's the way you like to work anyway. So if people are getting together to express their different viewpoints, why don't you just go on vacation or be a little bit too busy, because things won't get resolved that way. This is a time for a reality check, but it's a factual reality check. And I think you'll do great. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when still you could have your eye on something pretty pricey, but it could be a little bit too pricey because Venus in Taurus is squaring your sun. And there is a lot of conflict around right now, or a lot of challenges created by people who are not in very much agreement and don't want to be. In other words, they don't want to listen to anybody else's opinion. They're clinging to their own right now. So that can cause a lot of tension and stress and sudden outbursts or unpleasant news. And that can be perpetuated by your ruler, Uranus, which is in a cardinal sign and is under duress right now. So Jupiter in Libra is trining your sun, which means that you can have helpful partners right now, or you can try to work on some sort of legal settlement or even some sort of contract. Maybe you could get better terms on that right now, which would be good. But you also shouldn't go into debt, or you shouldn't take a gamble on anything, because there are 2 new moons in Leo coming up that will oppose your sun, and there is a lunar eclipse in your sign on August 7th, Aquarius. I would wait until after the end of the summer before you make a serious financial commitment. Just hold off a little bit longer. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time when you can be faced with the facts, and even if you don't want to do a reality check, that is favored right now, remember, because of that grand trine in earth signs. But one of the planets in an earth sign is the moon in Virgo, and it is opposing Neptune in your sign. And that means that there can be somebody else who's very logical, who has a lot of common sense, who is factual and really looks at the details, and they can be coming at you and poking holes in your dreams right now, because it might be you that really needs a reality check. In other words, you got to put your budget down on paper and see if your basic needs are affordable. And if they aren't, you could draw on help from your family members. And that is because the 3 planets in Cancer do trine Neptune in your sign. So there is a way to get some help right now, and that can be help with financial matters, or it can just be if you need another pair of hands to help you with a project, you could get that from a family member right now as well. And there can be a lot of work devoted to some matter in your home or a real estate issue that can work out pretty well if everybody gets together and works hard at that. So that's good, but at the same time, you too can be a little bit confused, because you've got to bring those dreams down to reality right now and face facts and see if they're affordable. And that could require a little bit of work from you, Pisces, but I think you can do that, particularly with help from your family. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.